5AA Nights with Matthew Pantelis.
Well, could Red Hen trains make a return between the city and the Barossa Valley? I know Grant McDougall is hoping that could be the case. He's been rescuing a couple from Victoria and hoping to bring them back, and he is on the line with a progress report. Hello, Grant.
Yes, good afternoon, Matthew. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, mate, how have you got on? Because I know you had to rescue these trains from the scrapper over in Victoria. Have you managed to do that?
Yes, Matthew. On the 16th of this month, just last Saturday, they were moved from one of the loco sheds where they were stored over to the freight yard in the South Gippsland rail yard, where they're just awaiting to have the pilot or the cowcatcher removed, so that and a bit of the weather to clear up in South Gippsland, so that they can actually be moved by road to a private property where they'll be there for at least about 3 to 4 months while we get the transport logistics worked out, and a bit more money into the kitty to bring them back to South Australia. Okay,
pretty good. So how's the fundraising going?
It's not too bad. We're starting another one very shortly. We're contacting all the hotels right across South Australia to see if we can, if they will allow us to do weekly meat raffles there with a $60 meat voucher from a local butcher to help us raise the money to bring the lovely Red Hens back to South Australia.
Any news on will you be able to use the track at all between the city and the Barossa? I mean, they're talking now of taking out the crossing at Gawler as well, aren't they?
Yes, the lines have marked out at the Coles End or the Gawler Central. The level crossing is to be removed. The signals have already gone.
Have they? Okay.
The next crossing up at Edith Street's already gone.
Gosh.
But what the state government really has to sit down and think about is and it's going to get rather political along these steps, where you become a politician and soon as you enter Parliament House, you actually become a creature of statute, where you lose your authority, you lose your power, because once you enter a parliament, you form a government. Well, governments cannot own any assets. They only are a manager of public-owned assets. So to destroy, remove, lease any public asset of a state, it actually requires a state referendum for the people to say yes, it can be removed, or no, it can't, because as I've already said, Matthew, they become creatures of statute, and a government cannot own anything. So it's going to become quite political, and we're relying on a certain number of acts, and also the people of South Australia to basically tell the South Australian government to pull their heads in, because you've got a perfectly not a good line to work out into the Barossa, but basically there's only one or two other places around the world that actually has a rail corridor to a wine area, a wine region of that country, and South Australia is one of those countries.
Yeah, it seems madness to me. I don't know. Look, I'm sure you've checked out your acts and everything. That doesn't quite sound right to me. But whatever the case is, to remove this rail corridor is just madness, because who knows, one day, population-wise, we may very well want to run trains there as a passenger service, let alone as a tourist service. So your argument is, if you put your trains on the line somewhere, the government has to open the track. Is that right?
I can't remember which act it is now, because there's a lot of things going around in my head.
Yeah.
But there is an act which basically says if someone shows interest in operating on a line and it is closed, and once their railway accreditation has been obtained, you cannot restrict that person from operating on that line.
Interesting. All right, so you've got to get the trains back. At this stage, when do you reckon they'll be here?
I am touching wood about February to March next year.
Okay. And then if people want to help out, if somebody wants to make a donation?
If we've got a Facebook page, Regional Rail Network, on Facebook. You will see the 402 on the turntable at Currumborough. We're also running at the moment a meat raffle Australia-wide in the group for all the funds that we can get to just help the roadside of transport, so that the diesel and the driver and the truck to help us with that sort of stuff to get them back.
Okay. Well, good luck with it, Grant. We'll stay in touch and yeah, admire your spirit in doing this. Good on you.
Oh, they need to be saved, Matthew, and there's only about 6, I think, in working order left out of 111.
Yeah.
So it's a passion, and there was also a media release in the Central Times in South Gippsland Monday last week. That's also on the Facebook group. There'll also be another one coming out Monday from, I think it's called The Voice of South Gippsland, where on the day of the 16th of last week, there was 2 media newspapers out there which got a comprehensive story on everything.
Okay, great. So you're getting publicity
it's
too.
Out there.
Yeah, good on you, Grant.
Yes, it is, yeah.
All right, mate.
Much appreciated.
We'll stay in touch. Good on you. Good luck with it. Thank you. 20 to 11 on 5AA. Yeah, you got to admire his spirit. Like, he wants to get a tourist train running between Adelaide and the Barossa. Just madness ripping up the line, because who's to say, or crossings, taking them out, who's to say that one day, in the way that we extended the Noarlunga line to Seaford, we won't need to extend the Gawler line to the Barossa? Basically, that's where the train line to Gawler goes. It just keeps going past Gawler, same line. Catch a train when you will be able to catch a train again, and haven't been able to for a year or so. But when trains start running again to Gawler, that same line goes on to Newry-Utpa. And it used to go to Truro and Angaston, but no longer, just Newry now. But it's lost a couple of crossings where the tracks have been removed, a couple of intersections. Hasn't been used for about 10, 15 years, I suppose. But the corridor is still there, and the idea, Grant's idea, is, well, put a couple of bits of track back and bingo, once he can get a train on it. So, yeah, full marks to him. Whether he can do it or not is another kettle of fish, but good on him for having a crack.
5AA Nights with Matthew Pantelis.